What's good, everyone? I'm back. Um, I just, I just came to I just received an interesting revelation from the Lord about lies and strongholds and how they take root and how they, how strongholds are formed and just all of it. So I'll explain it like how he explained it to me. So, for years, I've been trapped and held captive by the power of sin through to believing in lies and being tricked and deceived into gratifying the desires of my flesh, and especially even when I didn't want to do it, but I was held captive and bound. Good news is, when I came to Christ, over time, He's gradually helped me to fight and take back my freedom. And today we came to a crazy revelation that's really blowing my mind, and beyond that is just kind of really flew over me. So basically, it's like this: lies and the truth are kind of like seeds. You know, like the seeds that come from like fruits and vegetables or any kinds of plants, like those seeds that you take and, yeah, they're like seeds that you plant in the ground, or I guess another analogy would be the mine. You plant them in the ground and you water it. You water that lie or truth. You water it, and then you keep watering it over and over, and you do it for a while until eventually that seed grows into a plant or a tree, and then the tree starts to bear fruit, and the plant would start to bear fruit. And depending on what kind of seed that was, whether it was the truth or a lie, you'll recognize the type of fruit it bears. Like, that'll determine whether it's good fruit or bad fruit. It's like when both Jesus and John said, a tree is recognized by its fruit. A bad tree cannot bear good fruit, and a good tree cannot bear bad fruit. Or another one was when he said, you can't find grapes in trees or apples in a vineyard or blueberries in let's just say the sky. But yeah, basically that. It's like a tree is recognized by its fruits. Like, you might not know what kind of tree it is right off the bat, but if you look at the fruit that it's producing, that's what determines what type of tree it is ultimately. Like, the fruit is the dead giveaway of what type of tree it is. Now, if it's a bad tree, then, like, if the tree was built on lies, the foundation was built on lies, then then the tree is gonna bear bad fruit. But if the tree is based off of truth, the tree is going to bear good fruit. Now, when you're being fed lies over and over again for a repetitive period of time for like years, eventually a tree is going to grow and it's going to produce bad fruit, which is why um, you have certain problems that you didn't expect to have, like, which is why certain symptoms will show up when, like, out of nowhere, and it's like you try to get rid of the symptoms, but yet, or you try to control the symptoms, but yet it's like a case of resisting and failing. It's like the harder you try to resist, the more torturous and burdensome it is. But the more you give in, the worse you feel, and the more in bondage you feel. That's a stronghold. Especially when you try like multiple different ways to like try to control the symptoms or contain the symptoms, but yet that's not getting to the root source of the problem. But to get to the real problem, you gotta go down to the roots and do what Jesus and John said. Every tree that does not bear good fruit will be chopped up and thrown in the fire, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Like if that tree, like if the symptoms you're seeing is bearing bad fruit, you gotta go all the way down to the roots of that tree. You gotta chop down that tree, and then you gotta burn it down, get rid of it, and replace that bad tree with a good one. Like, you gotta replace those lies that you believed for the truth. Because he said, you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Like, not only know the truth, but you gotta believe the truth. Not just in here, but in here. You gotta believe it in your heart and your mind, so that it gets to a point where no matter what situation or circumstance you find yourself in, you're not going to be so easily tempted to go back to your vomit. That is how you overcome. You got to go all the way down to the roots. You got to get the pickaxe and tear down all the lies that you believed. The roots are the real problem, not the symptoms you're seeing. The symptoms are just a result of the real root issue that's sprang up, and the real root issue that sprang up and started to bear fruit. It's like this parable that Jesus said, the parable of the weeds and the tares. One day a man went in his vineyard and he planted wheat in his garden. And then in the middle of the night when he went to sleep, an enemy came and planted tares. He planted tares in the garden as well. So that overnight when they woke up, it's like there was not only wheats in the garden, but there were also tares as well. to get rid of the tares, you gotta you gotta get to the roots. You gotta get to the root of the issue. Otherwise, you're just gonna keep having the same problems over and over and over again. Like it won't matter how many years go by or how much older you get or wiser. It's like if you don't if you don't attack the issue at the root source, you're gonna keep having the same problem. You're gonna keep having the same struggles. You're gonna keep falling for the same temptation. You're gonna keep falling for the same bird trap. The same snare is gonna get you every time. Even when you know it's a trap and you try your absolute hardest to fight, it's like it's a war. It's like a tug of war. Just like they said, the spirit is at war with the flesh, and the flesh is at war with the spirit. If you want to win that war, you gotta get to the root source of the issue and get rid of all the bad roots, the bad lies. Only then will you truly be free. And along with that, tell yourself the truth. Find the truth that counteracts that lie, and feed yourself that truth. And then eventually, the temptation's gonna go away, or the desire to do it's gonna go away. You'll still be tempted, but after a while, it's not even gonna bother you anymore. And you won't have the desire to do it, to do what you don't want to do. The new roots, which is based off of truth, is going to. The new roots that are based off of truth are going to remind you that that old temptation is not worth it. It's not going to do you any good. It's only going to cause you harm. Like, it's the new roots are almost like a sense of common sense. It's like when you put the new roots, which is the truth, when you put the roots of the truth in, it's like that's going to act like your new common sense. And that's going to protect you from the old lies and the old temptation. It'll be like a defense mechanism. Like a stronghold. Yeah, it's like the truth stronghold is going to be stronger than the lie, to the point where no matter what happens or what situation or circumstance you find yourself in, you're not going to want to do that. Period. I hope that helps. But yeah, that's essentially like what I've discovered today. Like, I've started doing this and I think it's really working for me. I would definitely recommend it. Alright. Take care, I'm out.